I am honored that you're here joining me today. All right, enough of the crazy cool voice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of The Outer Rim Theories. It's basically just another theorized show, just my opinion about all things Star Wars. We're talking about Jedi, we're talking about Sith, we're talking about Mandalorians, we're talking about everything concerning this series. This is going to be really irregular, me posting videos like this, just because whenever I rewatch a Star Wars movie or the Clone Wars series or something, I see something I never noticed before, and it just sparks my thoughts on, I rabbit hole into this whole, just what if this happened, what if this happened, what if this means this. That's all this is. This might turn into a Star Wars news show, probably not though, but hey, you never know. Anyway, let's just roll right on into this. What is this video about? Today, we're talking about a concept that ripples through both the prequels, the originals, and the sequel trilogies, and hopefully Rian Johnson's trilogy once it comes out, is the concept of balance in the Force. Now, the original trilogies kind of touched on this concept of balance, but The Last Jedi really hammered home how the original trilogy's view on balance and the prequels' view on balance was inherently wrong. And this is where the movie starts to try and correct this problem, with characters like an older, grizzled Luke Skywalker realizing the error of his ways. And when I say this, I mean in The Last Jedi. If you've not seen it, spoilers, I'm about to go into it a little bit, but it's been 2 years. Go see that movie. Luke, after destroying the Death Star, redeeming his father, killing the Emperor and whatnot, and basically kind of bringing balance to the Force, there really isn't any balance, because he becomes the new Grand Master Jedi, starts his own academy, takes Kylo Ren as his pupil. Now, what they don't touch on, what the movies don't really touch on at least, I don't know about the comics because I haven't read any of them, is just the constant pull for a Jedi to stay up, like, towards the light and not fall into the darkness. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, his nephew, just had tons of pent-up rage and anger in him that he was just dying to get out and dying to deal with. But instead of Luke helping his nephew, his first thought is, oh my god, I have to destroy this. And that's where the teachings of the old Jedi from the prequels and Obi-Wan and Yoda are inherently wrong, in my opinion. When you bring balance to something, that doesn't mean, ooh, I have to eliminate this I have to basically perform genocide on this whole, like, just section of a culture. Just cut it out. We don't go there. We don't go near it. That's not true balance. True balance is two sides equally just coexisting. And the prequel Jedi, they were really vain. They were just so caught up in their traditions, and I think it's a good representation of some mega churches and how we deal with things in this world. It's just, they get so caught up in themselves, they get so caught up in the organization that they lose the actual message that they're trying to preach. The Jedi always preach balance in the Force, everything equals out. Luke didn't learn this until he lost everything. He lost his academy, he lost his students, he lost his nephew, and he felt like he alienated his family, which basically set fire to the galaxy. He had another Darth Vader on his hands. He felt like he lost because of his actions and because of how just wrong he was. And it wasn't until years in exile on this planet. A lot of people who I talked about the movie to are angry that Luke Skywalker didn't do anything as the First Order's going around. He knows that if he does do something, he's not gonna fix the problem. It's just putting a band-aid on the problem. You stop the First Order now, great, but then the other guys will rise up and start doing some other crazy stuff. And Luke knew that. So he was trying to figure out how do I stop this? How do I break this continuous cycle of just war throughout the galaxy? And that is through achieving true balance. But in order to do that, you'd have to find a way to coexist with your enemies. You'd have to find a way to not only live with Dark Force users, but allow them to practice what they want to practice without trying to take over the galaxy and whatnot. And a lot of Sith are reactionary, I found. Don't get me wrong, the Emperor just wanted to take over the galaxy and kill the Jedi. Revan was, well, not canon anymore. That's all Legends and whatnot. Malak wanted to just take over the galaxy. Darth Malgus just wanted to take over the galaxy and whatnot. You have to find just a common ground and whatnot. Anakin Skywalker was a virgin in the Force, which was, I think, the Force's answer, trying to balance everything out with Palpatine and the other Sith Lords and whatnot. In my mind, the Force is a living being. It's moving throughout the galaxy, keeping everything together and whatnot. That kind of explains Anakin Skywalker's birth. He was a virgin in the Force. He was the chosen one. He was this focal point of just energy, an answer to Emperor Palpatine. Balance. That's why when a lot of people complain about Rey being overpowered and whatnot, since Anakin's gone and Kylo Ren has turned to the dark side, Kylo Ren was supposed to be that other focal point since it was in his blood. But now, Kylo Ren's the opposite side of that coin, and Rey is the Force's answer. Another version of what Anakin was, another version in the Force. So I hope in Episode 9, instead of having like this huge battle and just tons of people trying to just this huge battle and it just happens like it always happens, where it's two people fighting with laser swords on a cliffside or something, where explosions go off everywhere. I want it to honestly be more conceptual. I want it to be more think piecey. I want it to be more into the actual Force of, do they have to fight like that? Like the Last Jedi introduced that thought of, you don't have to do this. It doesn't have to play out this way like it's always played out before. We've already had Obi-Wan versus Anakin, light side versus dark. Luke versus Vader and the Emperor, light side versus dark. Rey and Kylo could do something different. They have a connection. They're both just massive focal points of just power. They both have the choice to coexist, to stop the war, stop all the deaths on luck, just stop it. Or to figure out some way just to balance everything out. Because if she kills him, it's not balanced. If he kills her, it's not balanced. It always just keeps happening and happening and happening. And that's kind of why I'm excited for Rian Johnson's trilogy, because if he threw up these questions and these just off-kilter answers and whatnot to things we've never thought about in Star Wars, it just really excites me. We're going in this new direction. We're going into uncharted territory. And I think this is really cool. Can't wait for it. That's all I really have to say about the subject. Just the concept of bringing balance to the Force in Star Wars is just, they've been wrong this entire time until we saw The Last Jedi, which kind of brought more of a I'm trying to think of the right words to say. It made us really think about the issue a little bit more and what true balance really means. The only person, and this is like off an Instagram post that I'm about to mention, it was a comic of Qui-Gon Jinn talking to Yoda about how the Jedi have kind of lost their way and whatnot. They've grown too big for themselves, and now their message is misguided. I think Qui-Gon Jinn had the right idea, and if he lived, if Darth Maul hadn't killed him, things would have been different. But Darth Maul and Sidious killed him because he knew kind of what Luke figured out in The Last Jedi, that the legacy of the Jedi is failure, because their core fundamentals and messages they don't listen to. They're wrong. Anyway, that's all my thoughts that I have on the matter today. This has been the Outer Rim Theories, just theorizing all this conceptual stuff about Star Wars. If you like it, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't like it, tell me why. Tell me your difference. Tell me what your thoughts on the concept of the balance of the Force is. And this is including Legends, including all the other stuff that is canon, including the books and comics that may explain this stuff that I don't know of because I don't read, or I read, but I didn't read the comics, I didn't read any of the books. All I know is some of the TV shows, the video games, and the movies. Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.